Dramatic video has been posted on Twitter and Instagram of Broward County's fire rescue helicopter, a EC-135 Eurocopter, crashing shortly after takeoff from Pompano Beach Airport this morning, Monday, the 28th of August. My name's Juan Brown. You're watching the blancolirio channel. Here's what we know so far. From the Aviation Safety Network, Monday, 28 August, Eurocopter EC-135T1, Broward County Sheriff's Office, BSO Fire Rescue, 1 fatality, 3 occupants. These numbers may change as this is a breaking news story. A Eurocopter EC-135T1 rescue helicopter, November 109 Bravo Charlie, was destroyed when it was involved in an accident in Pompano Beach, Florida. 1 occupant on board and 1 person on the ground sustained fatal injuries. So there's 2 fatalities. The 2 remaining helicopter occupants and 4 persons on the ground were taken to a hospital with unspecified injuries. Online photos and videos show the helicopter experienced an in-flight fire shortly after takeoff from Pompano Beach Air Park, Florida, followed by failure of the tail boom. The helicopter spun out of control and crashed through a building's roof in Pompano Beach. Here's the actual aircraft, 109 Bravo Charlie, a Eurocopter EC-135 twin-engine, turbine-powered helicopter. More details on that in a minute. According to preliminary ADS-B data from Flight Radar 24, the entire flight only lasted about 3 minutes. The helicopter took off from this section of the Pompano Beach Air Park, proceeded straight out up to an altitude of about 650 feet before turning right back around and attempting to return to the airport, slowing down to 72 knots, 65 knots, and then crashing just short of the runway of Pompano Beach Air Park. Video of the incident seems to indicate what appears to me to be an engine fire that was carried on for a bit of time here with the smoke, and you can see the hot fire coming out of the number 1 or left engine exhaust. Right there, clear indication of the engine fire continuing. And continuing further until it appears that the engine fire burned through the structure that supports the entire tail rotor and aircraft control was lost. An engine fire in a helicopter is much more critical than that of a fixed-wing aircraft. The engines are so tightly cowled up in the helicopter that they are very closely, the exhaust is very closely mounted to the structure where the tail boom attaches to. So if we look at the EC-135 emergency procedures, engine fire indications, fire indication on the warning panel, warning alarm, loss of power, split torque needles, or engine failure indication. Procedure, failed engine, identify, fire indication on the warning panel. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Fuel cutoff, press, fire extinguisher will engage. Engine, failed engine, open guard and off. Collective, monitor torque on the FLI and observe the 1 engine inoperative limitations as marked. If fire indication light is off, land as soon as possible. If fire indication light remains on, land immediately. And this is why you need to land immediately, because of the possibility of burning the tail rotor completely off of the aircraft. Here's a quick look at the instrument panel of the EC-135 helicopter. Let's take a closer look at this engine fire warning unit. Here's your 2 red guarded fire switches along with the warning unit mounted right on top of the instrument panel. Here's the explanation for the warning unit. The warning panel, see figure 4, that's this right here, located in the upper center portion of the control panel, shows critical warning conditions. Takeoff should not be attempted if any warning lights are illuminated. If any warning light should illuminate during flight, then landing should be executed as soon as practicable. Fire detection and suppression system. Buttons on either side of the warning unit, that's these red guarded switches right here, Buttons on either side of the warning units show the emergency, fuel cutoff, and fire warning and suppression system. The fuel cutoffs are covered by guards to prevent them from being accidentally triggered. When a fire is detected, the button will illuminate with a fire indication. Opening the guard and pushing the button will activate the fire suppression system. Once activated, an indicator showing active will illuminate, fuel will be cut off from the engine, and fire suppression will be triggered once N1 for the selected engine falls below 50%. If the cutoff button is pressed when no fire is indicated, the fuel cutoff valve will be closed, but the fire suppression system will not be triggered. The Airbus H-135 helicopter is a very popular design with over 1,400 of them being delivered and 6.6 million hours of flight as of 2022. And these engines that are on these aircraft are very, very reliable. Investigators will be looking at very closely the most latest maintenance that's been performed on this helicopter in an effort to try to find out what was the cause of this fire or engine fire. And here, with a closer view of the helicopter, you can see just how critical this area is, where the tail boom attaches to the helicopter up in here, very near the exhaust for the two engines. If this fire continues to burn too long, you will lose the structural integrity of this tail boom. The temptation is very strong to return to the airport instead of landing the aircraft immediately. Investigators will be looking at to see how long was this fire burning, how long of the indication did the pilot have of this fire burning, did the fire button get extinguished by the pilot, did the fire extinguishing system work on board the helicopter, did it have the fire extinguishing system on board and operational for this aircraft? Investigators will be able to figure all this out very soon. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.